What? I think this is casual.
It's very casual. We're casual people. Jesus.
Oh, Boo wants to be on camera. Come here. Oh, okay.
Okay, so what are we here to doing? What are we here to doing?
We didn't even introduce ourselves.
Oh.
Bryce, Jade.
We are talking about the time that we went and visited that house. Or we went and saw that house, not visited.
Yes.
I mean, technically it was a visit.
So, shut up. So, Jade and I are trying to get a house together eventually. But, you know, housing market, everything blows. It's the worst ever. And she came to me with a bit of a too good to be true, which, shocker.
What, me?
Well, no, it was actually under 300 grand. And Canadian prices, so everything's above that. So I was instantly skeptical because nothing is that price for what we're looking for, but it seemed okay.
Yeah, it was not as many bedrooms as we would have liked, but it was not as many bedrooms as we would have liked, but...
All right, first of all, it was right next to a major train track that they forgot to mention that I just noticed by looking at the place on Google Maps. It was also, it's a little bit of a rougher area. Very small, but I mean, the biggest thing, okay.
I think the biggest concern was the fucking basement.
Oh, good lord. So we went into the basement. Oh, and like the floor plan had made it seem like, one, the pictures were very convincing that everything was way bigger. This was one of those things where I'm not particularly tall, but I can go boop. And this was the ceiling in the main, in the living room, all throughout the hallway, in the kitchen. We went to the basement, which on the floor plan said it was finished, but also had what looked like its own like little room off to the side. Yeah. Which turned out to be a giant gaping hole in the like cement wall that you would have to crawl up into, and I couldn't walk in unless I was crouched like Gollum style, and it was just covered in cobwebs, and it was basically just like someone blew a hole in the wall and was just like, look, it's another room.
Yay! Your laundry room.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, it was the laundry room. On top of that, I would have had to duck every time going down the stairs to go to the basement because I would have smoked my head on one of the beams. And then in the basement itself, directly across the center of it was a giant beam that just standing normally hit me dead in the middle of the forehead. So I would have been not allowed in the basement because I would have been very concussed very quickly.
Excuse me.
You fart?
No, I burped.
Yeah, well, before... Oh, that! I thought you were just like... I was like, damn.
No, it was supposed to be Evie's room, or like granny suite, though.
Yeah. Oh, because it did have kitchen stuff down there. It had a sink and like a fridge and all that.
Yeah, the issue is the original fridge from the upstairs and the original stove from the upstairs was just kind of shoved into the basement, like they didn't know what to do with it, and then they were like, granny suite!
Yeah.
And then they installed like 2 little cupboards and a sink, and then it had like 2 little cupboards underneath. It was not a legal granny suite.
No, the baby is behind my computer.
Boo! As long as she's not fucking with anything.
She lives to fuck with everything. Yeah, and it was stupidly tiny. We were really trying to pretend that it wasn't while we were there because we were so excited. The backyard was broken ankle city with how lumpy everything was.
That didn't really concern me other than the fact that the shed that was in there, they didn't put in the advertisement that it wasn't like an actual shed, so when we got there and they showed it to us, they were like, yeah, you have to tear that down.
Yeah, it was a tear down shed. It had 2 out of 4 walls.
Yeah, and it also had some rusty shears in there.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And
they were free.
At the end of the day, made this, I swear to God, Boo, I'm gonna fucking drop kick you. She's being so precarious, and anything she hits over there can completely axe this recording. God damn it, you are so the opposite of graceful. Well done. it seems like we're shitting on it and we didn't love it at first, but in reality, we were so just like, yeah, this is amazing. We're totally going to do that. Look, it has a metal roof. And then it came down to us talking to our a little real estate dude who was showing us the place, where he said, well, the thing is, he didn't talk like Bill Cosby, but he's going to for right now. He said, well, you see, the thing is that you actually, this is going on, what was it again? It was going on auction, or it already was being, people were putting in bids.
Yeah, it was, the offers had to be in by 5 o'clock that night, and we went and we were looking at it at like 12 o'clock. Yeah,
we were looking at it at around noon, and people were already bidding on it, and we had to have an offer in by 5 p.m. And he said, by the way, here's my card, and I can help you with that. Yeah, we would have had to literally leave there, go to the bank, get approved, and put in a bid. But that's also the thing. This is where it circles back to the whole, oh my God, it's under 300,000. Yeah, no, absolutely not. They just put it as under 300,000 in order to get people in order to try to put bids on it so that they would make a much higher bid. Didn't it not sell?
No, yeah, they listed it originally in, he said, I think it was November of 2023 at $500,000, and then before Christmas he said they put it down to like 4, and he was like, this is like our last resort kind of thing.
Yeah, which is why it was like what, 290 or 2 something.
295, I think.
295. She went to check on it afterwards. I think the day after you said the listing was gone.
Yep.
Right after that, the listing was back.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks after.
2 weeks. It was back up to 450.
Yeah, it was
450,000.
Yeah, well, you know what? Joke's on him, because when we were talking about putting in, excuse you.
Man, a little bitch ass hoe.
Yeah.
The guy and Boo at the moment.
Yeah, well, but the issue is that when we were talking about putting in an offer, he basically almost was like deterring us from doing it, because he was like, yeah, whatever. But he was already like, just so you know, if you get an inspection...
You got some Boo going crazy in the background.
He's like, just so you know, if you want an inspection, they're gonna find things, and, you know, they're gonna be expensive things, but, you know, that's houses from the 1950s, and, oh, by the way, we already have, like, a pretty solid offer, so you're gonna have to put in something better.
Yeah, and this honestly seemed like just one giant con for this guy just to get us on his, like, list of clients, because he's like, but I could still help you find a house. Here's my card, and this and that, and then...
Oh my gosh.
I shit my pants.
Through that.
Yeah, someone did. Boo.
Well, my biggest issue the whole time was the fact that so we booked the appointment earlier in the morning. Just like circling back to the beginning of the story, but we booked the appointment earlier in the morning. We called like first thing in the morning, and we set up the appointment for like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Yeah, then we had to show up there at noon because he had already scheduled us. And then when we got there, he was finishing up his last client, and then he came to us. He didn't even show us the house. We had to go through it ourselves.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was going through and like looking in the cupboard and looking into each thing, because he basically opened the door for us and was just like, oh yeah, so if you have any questions, just go take a look. Thanks, bro. But then also, yeah, I think it was our it was like 12:15 was ours or something, and then somebody was there, and so he was basically and then somebody else was coming right after us.
Yeah.
So they were just cramming as many people in that last day as possible just to see if they can, you know, con some sucker into signing, you know, paying $500,000 for this house that it was not fit for ants.
No. But honestly, that guy should have just been nice and kept his mouth shut, because we probably would have fell for it anyways.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we talk about this in hindsight now, like we were just like, man, this is bullshit. Like, this isn't us. But no, we were just like, can we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got in the car right afterwards and everything, and it's like, well, I mean, we can go to your bank and we can do this. And so, I mean, I get, you know what? Now, thinking about it, that dude was doing a good job on what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Because
deter anybody from...
Deter.
He did a very good job at his job, and we did not buy it.
No, we did not.
And we saved our down payment. Oh, that was one thing I hated. So we mentioned when we were talking to him, we mentioned that we were going to have to ask my dad it was like an opinion on something. There was something that we had to ask my dad about. And he immediately started talking to us about, oh, make sure you ask your dad about this and that. And he just made it seem like our down payment wasn't our down payment. It was my parents paying for it. And that was just how he talked to us the entire time.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because it's our down payment. We saved for it. And, yeah, I just didn't like how he just assumed, since I asked about talking to my dad about one thing, and he immediately thought it was my dad's down payment.
Yeah, he was a tool.
He really was.
He was a tool up and down.
Yeah, I'm glad that we didn't end up, like, working with him, because that would have been shit.
Didn't he try to message you later as well? Didn't he, like, text you?
He called me the day after the bidding, so what I assume, because he didn't leave a message, is I assume that the bid fell through on the day of the everything.
Which it did.
Yeah, well, clearly it did because it was up 2 weeks later. But I assumed that they had their bidding at 5 o'clock at night, and then in the morning, the next morning, I assumed that it didn't work out. So I think he tried to call us to be like, hey, you want to put an offer still?
Yeah, you want to put a little offer, Rooney? A little offer-roo? What
you got, guys? What'd you figure out? What'd you do?
We got bitterness.
Yeah.
And no time for his bullshit.
No, so we decided not to buy that house.
Yeah, it was a good decision. Not to mention the fact that the price is
The price should have been a red flag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't trust it from the get-go, but I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, I don't trust anything from the get-go.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that we didn't end up buying that house because we would have been very unhappy there. We would have
been fucked.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a $300,000 house, rounding up. Yeah,
we wouldn't have got it for $300,000.
Well, no, but if we did, we would have been unhappy in that house because even the bedrooms were too small. That was how small that house was.
Yeah, they were closets.
Yeah, we really tried. We really tried our best to like it.
Yeah.
And try and make it fit, but it didn't.
We tried a little too hard on it. We gave it a lot of credit that it didn't deserve.
Thing is that, well, I mean, and also the fact that it was on the market for like 200 days by the time that we found it.
Yeah.
Time to die, bitches!
Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I don't really know. It was a scam and a bamboozlement. It wasn't a scam. It was just a shitty situation.
It was more of a scammy, skeezy plot.
Skeezy. That's the best way of putting it.
Skeezy.
It was skeezy. Yeah, because they were trying to just trick people basically into being like us, being happy with less and paying more than they was actually advertising. That's why they got people in there. I'm just happy that we didn't go. It was a learning experience.
It was. But you know what? Going in, we realized that we shouldn't accept less than what we deserve and what we want.
Amen, sister. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next video.
Yeah.